All right, folks, so what we're going to do today is just a video on how to cut a stringer. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there where they tell you how to do the run and the rise and the calculations and how to draw that. But, you know, what we're talking about is just cutting the line today. So the tools that I use is I got, you know, this is a saw guide. I got a saw that goes in the guide. And I got some clamps that I use for the guide. And I haven't done a lot of stringers, but the stringers that I found that work out the best is where I use the guide. So the thing is just to cut the line, make sure that you use the guide the right way, and you don't want to put it on the wrong way where you're taking your 1/8 of an inch blade width out of the stringer itself. So you always want to be facing away from the stringer. And I just put it right on the line and just go ahead and do my cuts. I mean, it's a little bit longer doing it this way than how the pros do it, but you know, they got a lot of practice and they've been doing it for a while and they cut really straight lines, especially with stringers. But for me, I just found I could never do it. So that's why I resort to this. First cut. So as you can see, it's going along pretty good. Nice straight lines. Don't have a problem with that. Regular saws, I don't know. Maybe I'm shaky, maybe I'm nervous. Don't know what the problem is. I could just never cut a straight line. And I don't, you know, it bows and it concaves and stuff like that. So that's what I like about the straight edge. If you cut crooked with a straight edge, you got some problems. You shouldn't be doing it. Now we're cutting the side, which actually plants in the bottom of the floor. So this is critical not to get this too high, too short, because then it'll throw off all your runs. And we just kick this up a little bit so it doesn't fall off. All right, kind of a weird cutting angle here. Make sure everything's lined up. All right, so there you go. All of our stringer lines are cut, right? As you can see. But now we flip it over. Notice the table saw doesn't go all the way to the end on the other side. And that's just because it's circular, right? So now we got to get a jigsaw and cut that out. But first, before we do that, we want to take our lines and we want to scribe them. So our jigsaw cut straight. And what I'm doing is I'm just going by the very bottom of the line. I like to have a sharper pencil if I can. Now what we're going to do is just finish drawing lines for our jigsaw cut. All right, so the first thing you want to figure out is what side is going to be your exposed side, right? Like say, I put this on the floor. This is my exposed side. So I want to run a jigsaw on this side so I get a nice crisp 90-degree cut here. And if I overlap on this side, it doesn't matter because that's against the wall, or what I would call the non-money side. So since this is going to be the money side, what I want to do is I want to cut with this saw, the jigsaw on this side, and meet those nice crisp 90s. Show you what I'm talking about. We'll zoom in a little bit. So this is the line I'm following. Right there. Okay, so if that's my decorative edge, right, on the money side, I would just follow this up with a chisel, and I don't have to worry about marking up that side and making a mistake. The other side I did pretty good without making a crossover, but still, you want to make sure we'll sand that down with actually chisel that out a little bit. You're always going to get a little bit of this. You know, when you cut with a circular saw, you don't get the right depth by, you know, thousandths of an inch with your jigsaw, but that's fine. We'll clean that up. But it's looking good so far. Just a little time consuming, but all right, and that got nice crisp stringers now. This is the way it's going to look. They're real steep. It's a historic house. All right, so we're just making the last cut on this stringer. I'll show you the applications going on. So our stringer's going like this. This is where it's going to meet the half wall. So I'll show you what it looks like, where we're going to put it. So this is the application where we're going to put our stringer we just cut. Basically, we're creating a staircase here. Okay folks, now you can see the end result of our stringer that we put up. This is the one we just cut. And if you look at all the measurements, everything is level, everything is straight, everything looks good. So we can call this a success. Thanks for watching.